to the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions. Of course, it is another segment where we'll be looking at issues surrounding the leadership question of the 8th Abia State House of Assembly. As you know, that representatives were elected on the 18th of March 2023 to represent rather different constituencies in Abia State. Joining us live in the studio to look at this particular issue at this point in time is a public affairs commentator. Of course, he's also a writer, Eric Ikwuagwu. Welcome to the platform this morning, sir.
Thank you so very much, Ben.
All right, you just listened to the Chief Press Secretary reacting to most of the decisions and policy actions taken by the governor of the state. A quick reaction to that before we delve into the issue.
You will notice something with the way the Chief Press Secretary spoke. He wasn't considering the law. Okay, those most of those boards that were removed, they had statutes that created them, and those things are tenured. So what we are saying is, while you want to disrupt the system, please obey and follow the rules. Follow the principle that the statutes that created the law, enabling the creations of those parastatals and boards that he removed like that. So that's just what we are saying as opposition, that the law is made for people to follow. And there is when those laws were created, they didn't see him as governor when it was created. So as you disrupt the system, please, then when you demean Abians and call them touts, I take that with a particular, how will I say, I do not like the usage of that word. You know, when you want to make everybody an elite in Abia State and you demean others, you can give them some other thing, but calling them touts and discharging them like that and say they will just go into the system without a way of rehabilitating them and making sure they don't descend into criminality, it's marks of insensibility. And we say that those guys are Abians. It is just about changing guards, giving food for the boys. There's nothing else. All what he said there, these guys are going to be removed, and there's some other boys will take over. That's just what it is, settling the boys. So we understand this thing. So let them not paint it as if there's this special kind of people they are going to bring to do those things. No, it's just politics playing out. So we are watching. See, governance is doing the work and not following the talk. So we are expecting them to follow what they say they are going to do. And by now, I expected to see policies. The other day we saw the governor using shovel to pack refuse. I expected to hear policy on refuse management, something different. You campaigned on changing the status quo. So we expected you to have come up with something different. But we're just seeing disruption without following the law, doing things for political expediency. So we are watching. We are going to give him time, but I promise it's going to be constructive. It's going to be based on the law and not the kind of opposition they gave where it was about individuals talking about families and demeaning people's wives and those things. So it's going to be very constructive and very logical. And remember, opposition is a very, very veritable tool in deepening democracy. So that's what we're going to offer. And there's no time to start opposing the government. From the day he took over office was the day we beamed the searchlight on him and we watched everything he said he was going to do. Remember, he prides himself as a man with integrity. So that is what we are going to check. That is what we are watching him, his body language. And all the appointments is without sensitivity, without sentiments to geographical spread. That's what we are talking about. Okay? Now, the commissioners must. It is the law that every local government will produce one. But we're talking about all these personal appointments. That should be spread. Okay, it's not just confined in our Chuku local government. We want to see people from every other angles. People from even non-political actors, okay, play a role. You don't remove somebody because he's not a party member. I thought you say you're a technocrat coming to change things. Disrupt things that are going to give you applaud and not disrupt things as a politician. So that is just the issues we are having with him. So we are watching.
All right, let's see how things turn out as we keep monitoring activities from the present administration in Abia State. Eric, there will be a change of leadership baton of the Abia State House of Assembly in a moment from now. Of course, it's obtainable in different states in Nigeria. But first, let us put records straight. What do you have to make, or what do you make of the 7th Abia State House of Assembly?
People who follow my write-ups lately would have seen me write about cereals. I wrote about the speakership and the principal officers because a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. And this governor has shown that he has his penchant for not obeying the laws and not playing by the rules. So I started raising the alarm before now. You know, in the present house that is going to be, in the 8th house that is going to be, you know, you have 11 members who are PDP, you have 10 members Labour Party, you have 2 from YPP and 1 from APC. So it is a mix. Okay, there is what they call the hung parliament, where a particular party has overwhelming majority. We are not going to have it here. So it's a simple, very, very, very simple majority that could not even be able to take a sole decision.
We will come down to that particular aspect as the program progresses.
What I'm saying is this: because the first footing of the executive governor has shown he's a man who is not so much attuned to following the law. So I'm raising this fear that he might do these things his normal way of not following the rules. And so the reminder is to point at the certain alterations in the law that has empowered the incoming house, okay, on the procedures and rules to follow. So that is what I'm here for, to put it in proper context, that you do not do it based on political consideration, but it should be according to what the law dictates. That is why I'm here.
All right, it will be important. Of course, we can still remember clearly. I believe they are still in power at the moment, talking about the leadership of the Abia State House of Assembly, the PDP. The question again is, what do you make of the 7th Assembly so far? Most of them will be going off the seats, allowing the seats for new entrants. So what do you make of the 7th Assembly first?
Let me, without sounding political,
all right,
I must give it to the Speaker of the House. He's been able to control though lately there is some dissidents, members of the House who, for one reason or the other, tried to disrupt a beautiful house that was about to end. But by and large, he's been in control. They've been able to churn out very wonderful laws about laws against women and child molestation. So many beautiful laws that I think that they were able to pass into law. So I give it to the 7th Assembly for being very active to the sensitive matters that concern the state. And I say that they could have done more, okay, if given the realities of time. So you will always expect them to do better, but I think I will score them 70%.
All right, 70%. I know perhaps you didn't represent any constituency, but you play a very pivotal role talking about the PDP administration in Abia State. Would you say that the members of the 7th House of Assembly impacted at their various or respective constituencies?
No, I wouldn't give anybody that blanket approval or check. No. It's based on individuals. Most of them were sleepy. Some did very well. So I think what we should do with this level of political consciousness and awareness is to start checking. We will not be doing well if we don't recall one House member in the 8th Assembly. Okay? It's time for Abians, for constituents to take the front seat and monitor what these people do. It's now. There's no other time than now to check them. You know, the consciousness that this 2023 election brought is what we're going to sustain. That is what we're going to talk to people about. Most of them think it's about going there to stuff money in their pockets and negotiate deals and all those things. Now we're going to check them. We're going to check them based on their oversight functions. We're going to check them based on their constituency projects. We're going to check them based on how many laws, how many motions they've moved in the House. So I'm not going to give them that general pass mark. But when you come to individuals, there are some that excelled much more than others. Then there are some that performed abysmally low. We know them. So these things, I'm not going to mention them. But if you're coming from a particular constituency, you must know if your House member does even have a constituency office. How many times have you seen him? So it is a must. They're expected to have a constituency office where you interface with your constituents. And most of them do not have. They don't even come back home. So it's not going to be a blanket pass mark for everybody. On individual basis, you find flaws up and down. So, but generally, I can say it's okay. It's an okay house.
All right, at this point, let us anticipate the leadership of the 8th Abia State House of Assembly. As you know, that the People's Democratic Party, of course, at the moment has 11 members elect. Labour Party 10, YPP, that's Young Progressives Party 2, and APC 1. The PDP remain the majority in this context. Do you see them maintaining or still holding principal offices at the 8th Abia State House of Assembly?
Now, without bias to politicking, I'm going to speak on the points of law and what the law dictates and demands. Now, it is the first time in the history of Abia that it's going to be a likelihood of an executive coming from one party and then the legislature bringing up the leadership from another party based on what the law dictates. You know, there is this recent alteration. So you can give it to this last National Assembly. They've done a whole marvelous work in the amendment of the Electoral Act, in the alteration of some vital section in the Constitution. Now, I'm going to particularly bring this discourse to Section 311. Okay, as altered. There's this Alteration Act, and I'm surprised most of the so-called law members elect, or even the sitting ones, do not know that there is an alteration on the way the first inaugural sitting of the House should be conducted based on the experience they had. You know, in every law, you change, you alter, you amend to bring it to the to be in consonant with the reality of time. So based on experiences, they've brought some very vital, very important, very intelligent amendments. And this particular 311, Section 4, dealt with exclusively on how the first sitting would be. One, it should have a 2/3 majority of the members elect on their first sitting to form a quorum. Now, secondly, the law demands that the House must subject itself to the standing orders of the preceding House. Meaning, in Abia State, the standing rules of the Abia State House of Assembly must apply to the first sitting of the 8th and incoming Abia State House of Assembly. It is given. There is no other way to interpret it. Now, let me tell you, there's a particular paragraph, that is paragraph 8, in the standing orders of the Abia State House of Assembly, bearing any change, alteration, or removal of that particular paragraph, paragraph 8, which says that for you to stand or to be nominated as a speaker or deputy speaker, you must have spent at least 4 legislative years in the House, making it, that's a 4-year single tenure in the House. At least that qualifies you to stand. Now, remember that the Constitution in the Alteration Act has yielded power to that standing order. So that standing order must be followed. Whatever thing that is contained in that standing order must be followed to the letter. Now, I hear commentaries and arguments here and there about the Section 92(1). Okay, Section 92(1) the standing order is not even ultra vires to Section 92. Section 92 is talking about those who are qualified to elect. They said it is the members of the House that can elect their leadership. It didn't go any further. Then the standing order was able to moderate and modify it better to say you must be you must be a ranking member. So if the Constitution, as altered in 311, has yielded powers to that standing orders, then every activity of that day or that first sitting must be subjected to what we have there. So I am worried. If you hear the chief press secretary speak, he doesn't even understand that there's the civil service, there are rules, there are statuses that established all these boards and senators. They are dissolving anyhow, and they are tenured. So have you looked at the way what the law is saying about these things? Have you tried to study them? Or because you feel you're an executive, you wake up one morning and you sack people? They can take you to court. Remember when Ararume was removed as a board member of NNPC, he went to court and he won that case. So if you want to disrupt Abia, don't put us into problem. Labour Party is already having problem of flouting Section 77, 2 and 3 of the Electoral Act. And they've not even contended. It is in court. And they are still trying to make more mistakes. And we are telling them, no, our duties as opposition, who are more experienced in governance, is to draw you back and refer you to relevant sections of the law that you must follow. That's what we are saying. We're offering you, based on the high side of experience, that you don't just come in and do things arbitrarily because you say you want to disrupt the system. We are saying you must follow the law. And let me tell you, if they go on because of the underground, whatever you see they are doing, go on to do anything without subjecting it to the rules of 7th Assembly, it is going to be null and void, whatever thing they do there that day, and people will go to court to challenge. So the reality is this: I respected them. He has a very experienced lawmaker as his advisor on legal matters, Okara. to be able now to start talking with the opposition, because the reality is we have only 4 members who are qualified based on the constitution to stand election as the speaker and deputy speaker.
By the standing order?
By the standing order. It's the constitution, because the constitution has yielded that power to that particular standing order to be used. So it is a constitutional requirement. That's just the fact of the matter. So if the constitution has yielded power to the standing orders, it is the constitutional requirement. So bringing section 92 to try to argue it doesn't hold no water, because it is the law. So what we are saying is they have to follow the rules, they have to follow the law. Now, working in consonant with people, this cross-carpeting thing is a legislative jargon where you move from one to the other. You can always walk across the aisle. We are all Abians. If you have so much prided yourself as a man of integrity, why worry about who is the speaker? If you're so much prided yourself as a man who wants to disrupt the system to do things are right, why worry about who is your deputy speaker? Come on. If you can subject yourself to due process, you shouldn't be worried about who is your speaker, because you don't have anything to hide. And there is no particular political party, as I say, that can remove the governor. So you can't be afraid of being impeached, because you must have a 2/3 majority. And now, with the way things are panning out, you will see there's no particular political party that has that overriding numbers to remove anybody. So you should be at peace, relax with. They're all Abians. All what they are saying is follow the rules. Whoever, and the law didn't see you, the draft man didn't see you before these things were made. You are just, it's your fate. So deal with it. You don't try to disrupt things because you say you're coming to disrupt, then you disrupt without following the law. Then it is unconstitutional to do that, and we are going to challenge him to the level that it will be very uncomfortable for him to even think that you come to Abia and do whatever thing you like. No, come on. Yes, you have the powers, but then you swore to uphold the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and we are holding you accountable to that oath you swore to uphold, that you must follow the letters of the law to the letter, and not try to twist it when it doesn't favor you. It's unfortunate he's finding himself in this position, but I believe, yes, Alex Otti is a man of integrity, and we want to see him play it out by subjecting himself to the authority, by subjecting himself to the same constitution he said he swore to uphold. That is my argument.
All right. At the moment, Abians are no longer giving much interest when it has to do with the 7th Abia State House of Assembly, of course. So they are waiting for the inauguration of the 8th Abia State House of Assembly. But do you see the 8th Abia State House of Assembly produced a more vibrant, focused, and proactive assembly?
Now, let me take you back on history lane.
All right.
The best time we had our legislative experience in Nigeria was when there was a kind of queue when PDP people outsmarted APC and produced the principal members of the House against Buhari's APC. We had the best time of our life in terms of legislative. In fact, that was even where most of these amendments, were hatched. It was that house that they were able to package these things before it was passed into law recently by this thing. So, whenever you have that. The House is supposed to be very independent. It's an arm of government that is solely independent. And then the Alteration Act has even yielded to it in terms of being independent in their finances. So they are going to enjoy a kind of independence based on funding too, based on the alteration that's recently done. So these things are going to make them work on their own. What I'm saying is this: we are all Abians. You have 10 members of your party there.
Party.
Now you bring something, a policy or whatever to the House. They are supposed to oversight you, right? And they look at it as something that's going to favor Abians. The costly demands, you discuss with them, make them see reasons why they should pass these things. And being Abians who have interests of their constituencies at heart, who will at the end of the day go back to seek for votes. Okay, and the governor is bringing something marvelous. Nobody in his right senses will stand against that. So you give it legal impetus for it to become law immediately, for him to use it. So what we are saying is subject yourself to the rules of the House. And but when you choose somebody as your speaker, it becomes a rubber stamp for you. Whatever thing you bring goes. Imagine Buhari leaving and the House is giving him some humongous amount of money. Those things wouldn't have happened if you have proper check and balances. And that is what the House is meant to be. So if Abians know what is right, they should listen. Let us drop political considerations and look at this in proper context. It will work well for us to say that the House of Assembly is really going to do their work, because it's not going to be a rubber stamp of anybody. It's going to work in tandem. It's going to be a symbiotic relation, a win-win situation for everybody, because the executive will not yield unnecessarily to them. They will not yield unnecessarily to the executive. At the end of the day, other people will rejoice. That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Would it be a problem to you if the Speaker of the Abia State House of Assembly, the 8th Assembly precisely, comes out from either the Labour Party or People's Democratic Party? Would it be a sort of problem?
It wouldn't be a problem insofar as the law is followed. It wouldn't be a problem for me. It becomes a problem when you try to bypass one or two laws that are not okay with you. That's when it becomes a problem.
All right. I know you are privy to information. Your party will be gunning for that position too, right?
Yes, because the law has qualified them to do, because you must have to be a returning member for you to be either the deputy speaker or the speaker. So based on that paragraph 8, which the constitution has yielded so much powers on that standing order, it is a PDP man that will be a speaker and a PDP man that will be the deputy speaker, following the law.
All right. You've been listening to the platform, the pinnacles of all discussions. This morning, we started by speaking with the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Alex Otti, of course, concerning the recent policies, actions, and the decisions taken by his principal. Of course, he carried out certain clarities on those issues. And we are still speaking this morning with Eric in the studio, looking at issues surrounding the 8th Abia State House of Assembly. At this point in time, we'll open our phone lines for you to participate. Let us have your own position on the issues we have discussed this morning. We are live on our Facebook page. Get down there, put down your comment, we'll pick it up. The numbers are 0808-182-6949, 0811-605-2949. You can also do us a text. The number is 0906-510-8289. Please be civil with your contributions this morning. Welcome to the platform.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Ikwuagwu, calling from Omaya.
All right, Ikwuagwu.
I want to disagree with your guest on the leadership of the State Assembly, even at the federal. We operate a rigid constitution. It's very unfortunate that House Assembly has become a gambling stage where rules and regulations are scheduled to find a party in power. Before you pass any law of such a thing, saying that you must be a one-time officer to preside, you got checked. Is it consistent with the Constitution? Can you pass a presidency test and the compatibility test? You see, as Dr. Does will become Senate President as a first-timer, take it in the history of the world that operate presidential system of government. So it doesn't mean if Abia State is created today and they conduct the election the first time and nobody should preside over the legislature. No.
All right, Ikwuagwu, you've used the time already. Sure. All right, thank you very much. Let us speak with the next caller. Welcome to the platform.
Good morning, my brother.
Good morning.
Is it Frank or the other person?
Moses. Ben. Yes.
Oh, okay, Ben Moses. Good morning to Mr. Ikwuagwu.
Good morning.
Who say man knows the name? I'm calling from Umaya.
All right.
Let me start with what Eric said. You know, most times, if you want to get a vibrant House of Assembly member that will checkmate the activities of the executive, irrespective of party, you know, most times Nigeria will always throw lines of party, whatever thing that happens. Like he said, when PDP produced the deputy Senate president, we saw what the National Assembly, the Senate, what they look like. Most of the law, like you said, most of the law presented, even this electoral law that was signed by the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, was presented before that assembly. So it is why we need to allow other parties to participate in this government of Dr. Alexoti's government. Even House of Assembly, PDP has every right to compete and produce the Speaker of that House.
Right.
It's possible.
Right.
Then secondly, the issue of allegation of the former government, the way he has been making appointments is very, very. It shows that I don't know whether they have something at mind for coming into power. It's not supposed to.
All right.
It belongs to all of us, and we see them, and we are still here watching them. By the grace of God, this government will come and pass, and other government will come and take over.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Usman Node. Welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Moses.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Eric.
Good morning.
I'm Okafor Chinedu. I'm calling from Mumbai.
All right, Okafor.
Okay, well, for me, I don't believe in an unnecessary interference by the executive or political party in any issue that has to do with the legislature. That is what we suffered in the last administration, in Nigeria. And I don't support any kind of interference. I believe in the dependency of the judiciary and the legislature in order to have a clear separation of power and for them to checkmate each other. Now, going by the recent appointment, it's too early to judge the present administration. I think they should be allowed to do their thing and sanitize the system. Sanitize the system. A lot of things need to be put in place and fixed for the betterment of Abians. That is my own. So that at the end of the day, it will be all for Abians and having good dividends of democracy for Abians. So it is too early to judge
Right,
them. I think they need time for them to perform. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We truly appreciate your position. Of course, we are still talking to you at this point in time. Welcome. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning, Mr. Ben.
You're welcome, sir.
My name is Mr. Chijoke from Benji Road.
All right.
Well, Mr. Ben, if you ask me, I will say that it's unfortunate that PDP in Abia, who Abians has given 24 years without result, is making a comment whereby a governor we have now is just spending 1 week in office as a governor. And Abians have seen the result. Yet PDP cannot hide their face in shame. I am saying that PDP is afraid of Dr. Otti because they know that Dr. Otti have come to open the eyes of Abians. Because for years they told us that we don't have money, and yet they are using our money to buy filling stations, buy hotels, build private universities. They think we don't know. All I'm saying to PDP is that PDP should hide their face in shame. Let them allow Dr. Otti to give us a good governance.
Right,
Otti will finish well.
Your point.
Otti will finish well.
Your point has been made. Thank you very much. Welcome to the platform. Okay, we lost that particular call. We are still live on our Facebook page where you keep the calls coming. Okay, let us speak with this caller. Welcome to the platform.
Good morning, in the studio.
Good morning.
My name is Jose Manasijo, calling from Alma House.
All right.
For 8 House of Assembly, if PDP is planning to install a speaker so that tomorrow they will impeach Alex Otti, it will not work. They should by now hide.
Where did you get that the information from? Oh, we lost. Please, if you can call back, do well to call us back. Let us understand your position on that. Welcome to the platform. Okay, from our text message, we are having this one. PDP that has followed the rule of law, what do they achieve under the PDP rulership? It is too early to criticize this new government. Let's give peace a chance. That was from Frankly. All right, thank you very much, Frankly. Welcome to the platform.
I greet you. Remain lifted, my brother. And I greet the man that has spoken, the first speaker. Excellent is my name.
All right, excellent.
See, if you are asked to score, you can't take exam for yourself and fail the exam. I'm talking of the person sitting with you there. See, they are not happy because they are out perpetually, everlastingly. The 7th Assembly, If I want to score them, I score them 12%. Because I have not even someone and for one day for personal that have been dying on daily basis. Refuse up all over here. The idea of passing the bill of if you're a woman, you have to inherit your father's property. Is that what I will hear to say? Why people are dying on daily basis? Someone that's taking over. I have an anthem. I always say that when you are sex, you cannot know the difference between sex and original. Or you not embrace original. Others have embraced original. That's why the idea.
All right, excellent.
For 8 good years. I'm telling you the gospel truth. I don't think I'm telling from us. I'm telling as a prophet. They all are retrievable. We see all that stealing from them. Also, commissioners that are now, they are in shame.
Excellence, you have made your point.
Those things are retrievable for progressive. Whether it's commission for contamination or a critical error on code. Those things that are stolen, they are retrievable.
All right, we appreciate your time, Excellence. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, from our text message, good morning, the guest in the house. I remain Kelechi Oba from Ikwuagwu. For me, due process should be adopted for the 8th Abia State House of Assembly for the good of Abians. All right, thank you very much. This one is coming from Musa. Mr. Ben, I love you, okay? We appreciate you for listening. Also, the next one, let PDP stop distracting the Dr. Alex Otti and allow him to concentrate on his work for Abians from Obina all the way from Okaigwa. All right, I believe I got that correctly pronounced. My apologies if I didn't. On our Facebook page, Chinedu Mokafo, you are saying, I think the governor needs time to fix the abnormalities in Abia State. And then Chimampa Chibuzo is saying, God bless you, sir, Dr. Alex Otti. Ezeka Elvis, any opposition coming out this early to criticize the new administration of Dr. Alex Otti should do it constructively. May God give Dr. Alex Otti the wisdom and knowledge to pilot the govern well-meaning and patriotic Abians to the very best of his ability. Much love, Flow FM. Let us return to our phone lines. Welcome to the platform.
Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning, Ben.
Your name and location, please.
My name is Ezra. I'm calling from Abia.
All right, Eze, go ahead.
Yeah, what I want to say is just a simple and short question. What I want to tell the PDP people to let them relax. Their own tenor have come and passed. Let another party start their own. They don't see them. Since they are in power before years ago, they have never checked anything during when the governor did not pay pensioner and everything. But now they want to checkmate. What I want to tell them, let them relax. They don't disturb this governor.
All right.
They don't disturb this government until after 4 years. That's what I want to say.
All right, thank you, Eze. We truly appreciate it. Before we turn the microphone again to Eric, PDP and law, I never knew Abians have law till today. God is alive. Allow Governor Otti to work. PDP should go and prepare for the next 4 years. That was coming from Emmanuel Chikezie. Also, Francis, you are saying watching live from Amakunze in Enugu State. Good morning, Flow FM Cruise. All right, Eric, your reactions to most of the issues raised by our callers this morning.
So it's very unfortunate that the law has emotions has no place in the law.
All right.
And I wished Abians would have elevated their conversation above these parochial sentiments. It's very unfortunate. People speak out of ignorance. And I am not here to pander with people who do not know or do not read. I had wanted to hear somebody counter me on these sections of the law that I've quoted. Section 311 of the Alteration Act. I wanted somebody who has what it takes to come up here and tell me things on the points of law. But unfortunately, we have what we used to call the headless mob, sorry if I'm using that language, who will allow emotions, becloud them. Now, I'm not saying Alex Otti shouldn't do, Governor Alex Otti, shouldn't do what he's set out to do. But all I'm saying is he should follow the law. And if you've campaigned to change the things PDP didn't do well, I think it's high time you started looking at following the law. And we expect him by now to make proclamation on when the next House of Assembly should come on board. Up till now, he has not done it. And you're telling me that things are right, even if PDP didn't do right, and he has been elected to do what is right. We expect him to do better than PDP. That's why he's preceding PDP's government, and not to judge him with what PDP didn't do right. So unfortunately, most of the callers here are people who do not read. They don't even know what the Constitution is. Please take up your this. If you're going to be a public affairs analyst, read, research. You can be able to elevate yourself and your conversation. You don't come to public space and bring up emotions. Emotions cannot stop what is written. constitutionally. So what I'm saying is, I have not seen anything wrong here. All what I'm saying is, yes, PDP may have faltered for 1 million years, but going forward, with the level of enlightenment and the awareness, we are going to follow the law, and we're going to make sure Governor Otti follows the law.
All right.
That does it. So let him proclaim the 8th House Assembly. We are waiting.
All right, thank you very much. This morning on the platform, we've been able to get reactions from the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor of Abia State, Mr. Kazi Uko, who reacted to most of the policies, action, and decisions taken by his principal, Dr. Alex Otti, and then coming out from the angle of the people's reaction too. Also, we have been speaking with, of course, you've been listening to him on this program this morning, a public affairs commentator and a writer, Eric Ikwuagwu. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right. We wish the administration in place a success, and also your party, the PDP, a successful ride on the seat of the opposition. Thank you very much, dear listener. Let us do this again on Friday. Remember, we do this to promote and project the development of our dear state and Nigeria. My name is Moses Ben. Please do not change that dial.